Hello everyone. In this session, let us discuss about evolution of supply chain management. The evolution of supply chain management has been a gradual process. Over the last century, there have been three major revolutions in the field of supply chain management, and let us look at each of them in the context of broader evaluation in the economic and technological environment. So, before proceeding to the different revolutionary stages, let us consider one statement made by the chief executive of an automobile firm. The statement is like this: our aim is always to arrange the material and machinery and to simplify the operation so that practically no orders are necessary. Our finished inventory is in transit. So most of our raw material inventory, our production cycle is about 81 hours from the mine to the finished machine in the freight car. So it is clear from this statement that this organization, this company had a well integrated supply chain in place that allowed it to minimize cost and maximize asset productivity. Most people, including business executives and industrialists, are surprised to learn that the company that achieved this did so almost a century ago. Indeed, this statement came not in recent years. Rather, Henry Ford achieved this fine balance in the 1910 with the Ford Motor Company. Clearly, this achievement set the standard for all managers the world over. If such a well-integrated and efficient supply chain was achieved a century ago, then obvious question is, why are the managers still worrying about this? And more prominently, why we are talking about this? Before we look for the answer to this question, let us take a look at the evolution of supply chain management over the past century and try to understand the key dimensions over which supply chain have evolved over past century. There have been three major revolutions along this journey. And if we look at the first revolution from 1910 to 1920, which is called as vertical integrated firms offering low variety of products. The first major revolution was set by the Ford Motor Company, where they had managed to build a tightly integrated chain. The Ford Motor Company was taking care of every part of the chain, right from the timber to the rails. Through its tightly integrated chain, it could manage the journey from the iron ore mine to the finished automobile in just 81 hours. Therefore, there is a famous saying which goes, Ford supply chain would offer any color as long as it was black, and any model as long as it was Model T. Ford innovated and managed to build a highly efficient but inflexible supply chain that could not handle a wide product variety and was not sustainable in the long run. General Motors, on the other hand, understood the demand of the market and offered a wider variety in terms of automobile models and colors. Ford's supply chain required a long time for set up these changes, and consequently it had to work with very high inventory in the chain. Till the second supply chain revolution, all the automobile companies in Detroit were integrated firms. Even traditional firms in India like Hindustan Motors was highly integrated firm where the bulk of the manufacturing was done in-house. The second revolution, which is from year 1960 to 1970, which is also known as tightly integrated supply chain offering wide variety of products. Towards the end of the first revolution, the manufacturing industry saw many changes, including a trend towards a wide product variety. To deal with these changes, the companies had to restructure their supply chain to be flexible and efficient. The supply chains were required to deal with a wider product variety without holding too much of inventory. The Toyota Motor Company successfully addressed all these issues and set the benchmark for the second revolution. The Toyota Motor Company came up with ideas that allowed final assembly and manufacturing of key components to be done in-house. The bulk of the components was sourced from large number of suppliers who were part of KRS-2 system. The KRS-2 is nothing but set of companies with interlocking business relationships and shareholdings. The Toyota Motor Company had long-term relationship with all these suppliers. These suppliers were located very close to the Toyota assembly plants. Consequently, setup times, which traditionally used to take a couple of hours, were reduced to a couple of minutes. This combination of low setup times and long-term relationships with the suppliers was the key feature that propelled the second revolution, and it was a long journey from rigidly integrated Ford supply chain. The principles followed by Toyota are more popularly known as the lean production system. The Toyota system involving tight linkages had some problems in the later part of the century. Gradually, when Toyota and other Japanese organizations tried to set up assembly plants in different parts of the world, they realized that they would have to take their suppliers also along with them. And they found that some of the suppliers in KRS-2 had become complacent and were no longer cost competitive. But with the advancement of electronic data interchange, EDI, which facilitated electronic exchange of information between firms, organizations. It was possible for a company to integrate with the suppliers without forcing them to relocate their plants close to the manufacturer's plant. In actual practice, the Toyota supply chain also had certain rigidities such as permanent relations with the supplier, which could become a liability over a period of time. This in turn led to a third revolution spreaded by a couple of progressive companies like Dell Computers, Apple, or even Bharti Airtel for that matter, which offered its customer the luxury of customization with loosely held supplier networks. The third revolution, which was observed from year 1995 to till date, which is also called as virtually integrated global supply network offering customized products and services. The technology, especially information technology, which is evolving faster than enterprises, can find application for some of the innovations. That is the fuel for the third revolution in supply chain. It will probably take at least a couple of years before we can fully understand the IT enabled model that has emerged and begin to apply it to all industries. However, we have enough information to get reasonably good understanding of contours of the third revolution. So I'm going to illustrate the key characteristics of the third revolution using the example of Dell Computers, Apple, and Bharti Airtel. The Dell Computer is a product company, and Apple combines product and service, and Bharti Airtel is a pure service organization. In each of these organizations, we can see different aspects of third revolution. Dell Computers allows customers to configure their own laptops in terms of processors, video cards, screen sizes, memory, etc. And they track the same in their production and distribution system. Apple, on the other hand, offers personal digital devices to its customers, and iPod is a classic example. However, it is not just about the product. Apple allows the customers to have a personalized user experience through the features and services. User can personalize the music and other media content on their device through the various features available on iPod. Similarly, Bharti Airtel allows services like My Airtel, through which customer can have unique personalized experience. As one can see, we have moved to a stage where organizations, companies offer a bundle of goods that leads to personalized experiences which would be of great value to individual customer. Value is unique to each customer, and therefore each customer would wish a customized experience to be fully satisfied with the value delivered to him or her. In short, we have moved from a single product to wide variety as offered by Toyota to customization as offered by the companies such as Dell, Apple, and Bharti Airtel. Businesses can no longer be content in providing select product variety to customers. Organizations have moved from offering products to offering user experiences, which are a bundle of goods and services selected by the user. This has changed the way supply chain are configured to deliver the value. Let us Begin with the Dell. To make sure its customers get the completely customized product, Dell has built a strong network of vendors who are cost and technology leaders. These medium term relationships are based on understanding that the vendors will adhere to high benchmark on cost and technology leadership, which in turn will reflect in Dell's product. Apple. Apple brings together product and user experience in a revolutionary new way, similar to Dell. Apple has global partners with which it maintains medium-term relationship based on cost and technology to fulfill its product manufacturing requirements. However, for creating a better user experience, it has gone a step further by creating a platform that enables anyone to contribute to the Apple user experience. Take the example of Apple iTunes and Apple Store. At first level, iTunes made it possible for Apple to provide all the music in the world to its user through seamless and tightly integrated platform. While it was only about the entertainment, the App Store took it to the next level. It created a global community of small and medium-sized application development teams who could become a partner with Apple and offer a rich banquet of utilities and applications which would all help to create a one of its kind user experience. In addition to its strategic global manufacturing partners, Apple also built a global network of partners in a few core areas like application development, who had very low engagement with the company itself. Practically anyone could become a partner to Apple on this platform. A key thing to note here is that the primary driver that enabled Apple to build this platform was information technology and the use of internet. In case of Bharti Airtel, a company that has broken several stereotypes. For a telecom company, the core activities like network management and IT being handled in-house was considered to be prominent. However, Bharti Airtel chose to go with strategic outsourcing and partnerships with the global partners for many of the core activities. Though the relationships were still medium term, similar to Dell, the companies were thoroughly aligned and worked like a single entity because of common goals and revenue sharing arrangements. This has ensured the Bharti Airtel to focus on user experience, which was ultimate service it provided to the customer. To summarize all this, organizations are moving from the era where the central theme was the satisfaction of a customer need with a product to an age where need is satisfied with user experience that combines products and services. It is the age of virtual integration where all information regarding the customer is harnessed to provide a personalized customer experience. There are three key characteristics of these global networks that are enabling companies to deliver this experience seamlessly. The first one involves high degree of engagement in the medium term with strategic partners based on cost and technology leadership for the core offerings. This is obvious in the way Dell, Apple and Bharti Airtel create and engage in strategic partnerships with a close group of technology vendors with clear alignment. For example, Bharti Airtel is a telecom major that outsources the core activities of network management to a strategic partner with a clear revenue sharing arrangement, which ensures both are aligned completely. Similarly, Apple, which is known for its amazingly designed products, does none of the manufacturing itself, but completely outsources it to its strategic manufacturing partners. The second way is global resources of varying kinds, which are crucial to delivering the unified customer experience that are harnessed with the help of information technology and highly evolved and efficient transportation infrastructure world over. Physical proximity of the strategic partner is no longer an important factor in making the choice of the partners. Whether it is Dell using specialized chip manufacturers, Apple sourcing apps from far-flung corners of the world, or Bharti outsourcing core telecom activities to global technology leaders, this trend of utilizing global resources from near or far corners of the world is evident in, in operating all the leadership companies. The The third characteristics involves leveraging IT in the creation of a platform using which multiple partners, each having a very low engagement, contribute to non-core activities which enable the enhancement of user experience while keeping the individual transaction costs very low. Apple's app development platform is an example for this particular characteristic. So an organization which exhibits these three characteristics, ability to carry out strategic outsourcing by building strong medium-term relationship based on cost and technology leadership, ability to harness global resources and creation of an easy to use platform to diversify global supply base, are able to create the virtual integration necessary to provide the user experience. So our discussion of the three major revolutions in supply chain has given us an understanding of how the dynamic markets and rapidly evolving technologies force us to continuously improve our understanding of supply chain concepts. To be able to apply the key concepts of supply chain management, we must be able to observe how they are used in context of business and market scenario. So with this backdrop in mind, let me conclude this particular session here. Let me wind up this session here. I hope so all these three different revolutionary stages have been contributed a lot in making this supply chain management to become more important in company success. Thank you.